Look, I am doing the whole process again. Okay, just follow what I am doing. Create a new jet tool. Okay, I am naming it as tool number 22. Okay, curve width is basically the thickness of material which is cut during single line of the plasma. Okay, if you got my point, when plasma cutter move on the sheet, it burns the material or it melts the material. This is the thickness of the material that is melted. It is usually when your current is optimized and your nozzle is accurate, then the curve width is the same as the nozzle diameter. Okay. Sometimes you need to increase the curve width. For example, your nozzle is deteriorated, excuse me, or you have, you are working with the low amperes of the plasma cutter. Then you have to increase the curve width. Okay. So if you have, I'm considering it in ideal condition, you have the optimum amperes and your nozzle is new, then the curve width should be the diameter of the nozzle. Okay, here we use an mm, so I'm just letting it 1.5 mm. Feed rate, for example, I am doing 10 gauge steel, approximately 3 mm of thickness. Feed rate I use here on my Chinese machine 1900 millimeter per minute. You can convert in your Pierce delay. You know what is Pierce delay? Is the when plasma flash starts and machine moves from this point. The time in which the plasma starts and move the machine. This is usually set to less than 1 second or 1.5 seconds. So the plasma flame, it becomes very clear to, and you can say it cuts through the material and then move towards uh, the design or something. Okay, pierce height, the height, the distance between the sheet and the plasma nozzle from which the pierce or the plasma flame starts. Okay, so consider the plasma starts at the 3 mm height from the sheet, then it will move 1.5 mm down and then it will start the cutting. Okay, so the pierce will start at 3 mm height of from the material. It will delay from for 0.5 second, this one, and then it will move 1.5 millimeter down, just 1.5 millimeter above from the material, and it will cut the hole. Okay, you can add seconds, a smaller time for pause at the end of the cut. Sometimes it is not required. Okay, just say okay. Now I am adding new tool. Okay, so if I am cutting the outside of the outside border of this design with a different tool, then I need to create a new tool. Tool number 23, I am saying it. Curve width, for example, I am cutting it with a big diameter nozzle, 1.9 mm. Okay, same feed rate, same pH delay, so you understand. Then say okay. Okay, now I am applying the operations. Just apply operation. Same procedure like I did in the last video. Inside offset, firstly layer holes. Here you can also edit the feed rate. It usually asks here. You can also edit here in the this one. Okay. So I am using hole tool number 22 for the holes. Tool number 22, just remember, always use this lead in and lead out. See, okay. So you can see, okay, if I remove this green lines, the difference between this green line and this white line is the actual hole, the green line is the plasma or the tool line. The difference between this white and the green is 1.5 mm. This material, the difference between this green and white line, this material will be melted during the cutting. And this, the white towards right, and this is your, the sheet. Okay. Now we are going for the outside offset. Layer 0, I'm changing the tool. Now you have to pause the CNC machine, then change the tool and go for the outside. Now I'm using 1.9 mm curve. Okay, same settings for this. Say okay. Okay, it will go start the cut from this point. You can see here if I just use this edit start point and clicked on this outside offside layer, click here. You can start from where you need. Okay, so this says your cutter will come from here. This is, it will enter like this and go through this, covers the whole boundary, and then it will leave the boundary like this. Okay, so do it again and ask me if you have any more questions.